Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today with a 12 by 12 process video with these two photos that are essentially basically the same thing. One's a selfie and one the lovely nurses at the Royal Children's Office take of me and Lincoln, and it is actually a photo of him getting a feed through his feeding tube. We fed him through a feeding tube for a little while, maybe a week, and then before his surgery was performed and successful and he could then feed orally, but it took us a while to get to more than like 1 ml in the tube. So yes, this is very exciting, and I really was excited to scrap this layout. I did scrap lift this from a scrapbook.com layout on Pinterest. Now, if I can find it, I can tell you who it was from. Let me see if I've still got it up. I do, but I wonder who it is. It is Nathalie D'Souza, and it's an awesome layout. It's a beautiful layout, and so I'm scrap lifting that, and I am doing some mixed media in the background, and really it's, I guess, my version of mixed media. I'm just using mists, that's it. Nothing special here. Didn't gesso the page. Yeah, didn't do anything too spectacular. I am using Heidi Swap Colour Shine in Mustard, which is a yellow. I'm using a Kaisercraft Shimmery White, a Kaisercraft Pink, and then I think I'm using the Heidi Swap in Teal. I think the bluey one is the Heidi Swap as well, Colour Shine. So I use those in the background. And now I am going to create my layout. So off camera, I cut out some triangles. I guess you call them triangles, arrows, chevrons, shapes. They're arrows really. And it took me quite a long time because they were all measured sort of the same size, and the points are in sort of the same position. And I am just putting them down onto the page. This is actually a page kit, or not a page kit, like a kit you can make, well, more than one page, that I made up of my stash. So it's got a whole heap of random different collections. I can't even tell you what most of these things are. I know some of the papers are from Chamel Glitter Girl, I think. There's definitely a Chamel collection in there, but most of them I don't know where they're from. And same with the embellishments. There's some reject shop embellishments in here, but I don't actually use any of them, but they are in the pack. I decided to take out this spotty paper because it had the orange in it, and I decided that I didn't want the orange on the layout, so I took that paper out. And now I've edited this part out, but I'm sticking the arrows together, first of all into two groups, and then I will stick them onto my layout. So I'm just sort of showing you that I am sticking them together on top of each other before I stick them onto the layout, and then I'll attach them to the layout kind of as one block, rather than sticking each piece on individually. Nathalie actually had hers actual chevron pieces, so not full pieces of cardstock. They were just the little arrow piece, and she sewed hers on with a sewing machine. And I do have a sewing machine, but it isn't set up, and I've never stitched on paper before, so I thought the first time probably shouldn't be in a process video on YouTube. That I probably need to practice and work that out at home for myself first. So I'm just thinking here, do I want to keep my photos together or separate them? And I do decide to separate them. So I'm just trimming them in half, or chopping it in half. Obviously that was 2 3x4 photos on a 4x6 size. Gosh, use my words. It's late. It's not late, actually. That's a complete lie. It's 7 o'clock at night. It feels late. My baby's just gone to bed. I'm very tired, but I do a dream feed at like 10:30, 11, so I stay up that late every night. So I thought I will be productive tonight. While dinner is in the oven, I will do this voiceover. So I should not be running out of words, but I am. 7 o'clock. I'm one of those people now that 7 o'clock is late. Anyway, I am backing my photos on some of the same cardstock that I have used in the arrow pieces of paper. So this is just a really light pink kind of ombre watercolory type piece of paper. It's from a paper pad, and I think it's from a Maggie Holmes paper pad. Again, could be wrong. It might be from Bloom, maybe. don't know. I don't actually have very many 12 by 12 paper pads. I think I've got, wait, I can turn around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7. That's probably a lot for me. I don't tend to buy 12 by 12 paper pads. I find the paper isn't thick enough for my liking, so I just stick with individual sheets usually. So there we go. That is what it's sort of going to look like. I will now stick down, no I won't, oh that's right, I pulled out these frames. My sister gave them to me because she didn't really have a use for them, and I thought maybe that they would work on this layout because I wanted the yellow. I really liked the yellow one, but I didn't want the round. I thought that shape just wasn't going to work with this type of layout, and then I thought the black was a bit too full on. There's not a lot of black in this layout, and so I didn't use them. Oh yes, and then I decided that I would mount the photos on this floral pattern paper as well, which I really like. I'm trying to see if I can see on here where this is from. Is it a Simple Stories? Is this a Chamel? I don't know. I can't read it on my iPhone screen. You guys might be able to read it if you're watching it on a bigger screen, but alas, I cannot. But I do like it. It's a great print. It's very bright, but it's a beautiful floral, and florals are definitely my favourite. If I had more patience, I probably could have fussy cut them out, but I don't have the patience, so I didn't do it. But I am trimming down the photos, the backing behind the photos, the matting, using my little guillotine, which I love. I would like it to be just a teeny bit bigger, not like 8 by 8 size, but like just over 4 inches long. It's 6 inches long, and it's like the cutting part is 6 inches, and then the actual measurements is 4 inches, and I would like it to just be just a smidge longer than 6 inches in the cutting section, just so that I can cut my 4 by 6 matted photos. But anyway, first world problem. I don't want it hugely bigger. I know you can get like 8-inch guillotines, but I like this size. I just wanted it to be, just a centimetre more. So I am sticking down the arrow pieces, chevron piece, whatever you like to call it, onto my layout. So just put some double-sided tape on the back and sticking that down, and then I will trim off the excess. It was actually really hard to trim off the excess of this one that I'm sticking down now, because there was like quite a few layers that I had to chop through with my scissors, and it was much harder than I thought it was going to be. So sticking that down, and I decided I actually don't want that one to stick out quite so far, because I do want to be able to see the mixed media in the middle and also not have it, I guess, taking over the whole page. I do want some white space as well. So here I am. I did manage to cut through it fine. It doesn't probably look that difficult, but it was quite a lot of paper all stacked up together that I was cutting. So there we go. I've trimmed that down. Now I am going to, I think, commit to sticking my photos down, I want to say. Am I going to do that next? Yes. I'm trying to use up all the random bits of dimensional adhesive that is around my desk. These are some Kaiser Craft foam dots, but obviously I'll also use the outside parts, because why wouldn't you? Just a waste otherwise. But at the moment I'm popping the dot parts out of the template. Oh man, words today. Whew. I am tired. And then I think my title is going to be Dream Big, and the reason it's going to be Dream Big is 2 reasons. My baby is asleep in this photo, but also I am participating in a online crop in the Secret Not Secret Kit Club Facebook group. That's a mouthful, but that's where I am hanging out the weekend that I am filming this video, and it's their May online crop, and one of the challenges was an inspiration board with Dream Big Little One, and so I thought I would take the Dream Big title from that inspiration piece, and that's what I used to create, or that's why I picked that title for this layout. And I really like those stickers that I've got there. They're silver. I said this in a previous layout actually. They are the Grayson stickers from American Crafts. I don't know which collection they were part of. I have no idea. My sister gave them to me as part of our Scrappy Advent calendar last year in 2018. So yeah, they're super cute, and I'm just trying to make sure I use them all up and don't hoard them like I often do. But yeah, love them. So now I am going through the different ephemera that I sort of collected into this kit that I made for myself. So I'm going through a Chamel collection now. I think it's Glitter Girl. And I just pulled out some of the floral pieces, 3 of the floral pieces, and she had some like holographic ephemera pieces, and I did pull out the one that said "Make Your Dreams Real." It's super cute. It's pink, floral, and the writing is in like a navy, and I did really like it, but it just didn't work. So I don't end up using it. Oh, and these are the Reject Shop ephemera that I was talking about, which might actually be from Rosie's Studio, which is a New Zealand company, which I didn't realise until I started talking to Virginia from Confessions of a Paper Addict, and she was saying that, yeah, Rosie's Studio make the those collections, and then obviously the Reject Shop rebrand them for sale in Australia, which is very interesting. So I'm creating my little clusters now. I am using these floral pieces from that Chamel collection of ephemera piece. I have stuck one flat and I am popping one of the floral pieces up, and then I'm actually going to use this little camera, and the reason why I'm using the camera is it's the same camera that is in the pattern paper, so I just thought that would be, you know, a cute extra element to include, and obviously, I mean, we're taking a photo, so you know it's totally relevant to put a camera on a layout, right? So yes, sticking those down, and then I had some Felicity Jane acetate, and I used 2 of the love hearts. So there's a yellow love heart and a pink love heart. And I do staple this love heart onto my layout, but I actually come back and I take the staples out, and I'll explain to you why in a second. So I staple that one on. Then I'm trying to work out where I want my next cluster to be, and I decide I want to tuck the floral piece under my title. So I sort of commit to sticking my title down, but then I put that floral piece down first, and then I am adding that acetate love heart in pink. Now I had to stick this one down using double-sided tape, or I could have used liquid glue, but I used double-sided tape because the stapler wouldn't reach that far onto my layout. So once I stuck that one down, I realised that I didn't want one stapled and one not, so I actually take the staples out, which is what I'm doing now, which was a little bit fiddly. Probably should have used some scissors, but I didn't. And so I am pulling out the staples and then sticking it down with double-sided tape. So, you know, that was a bit of a journey and a bit of hard work taking those staples out. So I'm taking them out. Clearly it was a little fiddly, and I was doing that off camera. Not that I realised I was off camera at the time, but I was. And then I went to trim the excess, but it hadn't quite adhered properly to the layout. So I come back at the end and trim the edge off that heart. And now I am adding just a few puffy silver stars that came on the thicker sheet. So there's a lot of stars actually on these thickers. So I just add 3 to each cluster. So I've actually only got 2 clusters on this layout, but I think that works fine rather than a rule of 3s, because I've sort of got those 2 big chevron-y arrow paper clusters, so it made sense to cluster my embellishments around that. So now I am using the Marabou Art Spray in silver. It's an acrylic mist. Just sprinkle some silver mist sprinkles. I said sprinkles a lot, but that's what I'm doing on this layout, and then we are done. So I will show you some close-ups in a second, and that is the finished layout. I hope you guys liked it. I had fun putting it together. I love participating in online crops. It's good inspiration too. So yeah, if you get a chance to do that, I highly recommend it. So I'm going to show you the close-ups now, and I hope you like it, and we will see you in the next video. All right, guys, bye.